Good sunny to everyone. It's me, your friendly intergalactic sun prince of the sun, Enyo Solaris To Moshimas. And with me, I have...
Azerad.
It's me. I'm here. He's alive! Okay,
Somehow.
I say alive in quotes, okay? He died, and his soul went to the Soul Society, and then I had to go around looking for in the Soul Society for him, and then I found him, and I had to make a whole geek guy for him, but he's back, and he's fine, and now he's good. No,
That's right.
That may or may not have actually happened. But yeah, we're back to talking about Bleach. We're gonna find a different fidget toy. You know what? We're gonna use the classic fidget spinner. Because this fidget cube that I have has this little, like, clicky thing on it. And that little clicky thing was, like, in, like, some parts of, like, the Don discussion. It, like, ruined a clip. And I'm mad about it. Alive and healthy? I mean, you're making a lot of assumptions on both of us there, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I did actually get sick this, like, past week. Reason I wasn't streaming, like, this past week was... A, I wanted to take a break, and B, I got half sick, and C, depression, so... be listening, but not chatting much. I'm going on a football match. Is that the proper verbiage? Going on a football match? What is that? Okay, have fun with your going on a football match. Also, I'll say this on the record, too. FAnimeFillerList.com. Very useful resource. But, like, 10 years ago, I tried to apply for an account because I wanted to add the railgun fillers. Because the second half of Season 1 and 2 are filler, and they never got back to me. They didn't let me get an account. That's crazy. Going to, either works. Okay. I don't know sports. Do they even have the railgun at this point? Because that was, like, 10 years ago. Okay, they do have it.
Is it accurate?
Who effing? I mean, yeah, it does look like the second half of Season 1 and the second half of Season 2, along with some random episodes in Season 1. Who did it? Who are these page contributors that are better than me? who are the admin? Screw you. This guy, screw you. Whoever you are, screw you. I'm better than you. I could have done this like 10 years ago. If you let me. I'm kidding. Oh no, not my circle pad. We're putting the circle pad away. I want to just play with the PS5 controller. Anyway, so yeah, it's been a year. Don't talk about 2024. All my homies hate 2024. Nothing good happened in 2024. Let's just move on with our lives. And also, it's somewhat canon, because in the dub, this was like, I caught up to this point in the dub, like to 167, and then the dub went on like an effing, like, 6-month hiatus, because 167 aired November 2009, and then the next episode didn't air until August 2010. So that's like almost a year. And then the next arc is a filler arc, so it didn't actually get back into canon material until February 2011. So November 2009 to February 2011 is comparable to the break that we just took. So it was all intentional. It was all part of our great scheme, right?
Mm-hmm. It was all planned.
All planned. Immersion maintained. So we're gonna try to not speed through this, but we got two things that we want to talk about, because we want to talk about the anime, and after the stream we're gonna talk about the video game. And hopefully we can do that in under 3 hours, because in 3 hours we got a concert we gotta go to. The Fuamoko birthday live is happening. And we got front row tickets, we can't miss it. Okay, so let's talk about Bleach. Please note, I don't think Azerad actually cares about the Fuamoko live.
I may or may not.
I may or may not. I'm not gonna confirm. Ah! Okay, I'm back. It was not the window that I moved just then. So yeah, as I said before, when I got to this point, I guess in 2009, I guess it would have to be. That does sound right, because I think summer 2009 is about, I think, when I got into Bleach, and then I'm sure by, like, no, the fall of that year, I would have caught up to all the episodes. So I was like, man, I really want to watch more Bleach, but I'm a little baby dub-only watcher. But I finally caved and just watched it in sub. Then I watched just the rest of the series in sub until I eventually caught up and just was watching it week by week. And then the dub came back, and I'm like, okay, this is officially a hyperfixation. So I just at some point was keeping like up to date on Bleach like twice, both like watching the sub once a week and then watching the dub once a week when it came out. And then I think I got burned out at some point, and I never finished the dub of the anime. I think I stopped the dub in the middle of like Fake Hardcore Town. So I say all that to say that these episodes still feel weird to watch in dub. Because that is not part of my initial like watching of Bleach. But I mean, it still is a good dub. We still have old Kenpachi. Meow, yeah. So there's also like a mental gap between like after the Grimmjow fight, because that's basically where we left off. You asked where we left off. It's right after the end of the Grimmjow fight. And everyone's like, yay, we did it! Everybody's alive except for Rukia, who's dead, and Chad, who's dead, and Renji and Uryu are currently in the process of dying. But yay, we beat Grimmjow, we saved the world! And also there's like 17 more Arrancars or Espada that are, lurking about. But
Even stronger than Grimmjow.
But we did it! We saved the world! So yeah, so I don't necessarily, I don't know, it's weird. I don't have the initial getting into Bleach nostalgia that I had for this section, but I still like, it was still like, what, like fun, like 2010, like that was like, what, 6 years ago? So I'm still pretty nostalgic for it, but not as nostalgic as the other parts. These are the type of rants that we need to not go on if we want to be under 3 hours. Anyway. But I still like this section of the story. There's a lot of crazy twists in this section of the story. It's like, up until this point, it's kind of just been like a retread of the Soul Society arc of like, oh, Hime got captured and Ichigo and his friends got to go in alone and fight all the 10 bad guys and save the day. But like this section of the story is like, okay, we did that parallel, let's go in a completely new direction, and I like it. Again, I didn't hate the first part of the Arrancar arc. I mean, Grimmjow and the Aranetto fight, we talked about last time about how effing great that is.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I think about Aranetto, the more I like him. I mean, I just like him because he's a weird little 2 skulls in a jar. But I also like how effing evil he was, of just like emotionally traumatizing Rukia their entire fight by imposing his Cayenne. It's great.
Rukia had it a little bit rough coming back.
Rukia had a little bit of trauma. Also, something else that someone pointed out, I don't know if we mentioned that, but the reason that she won that fight is because she used a technique that she learned after Cayenne died. So the only reason that she was able to, move on and win that fight is because she progressed, she kept moving forward after Cayenne's death, so it's symbolic that way. Even though there's some people are like, this is BS, she got one cheap hit in and won the fight, but I'm like, she won the emotional battle, and that's what Bleach is about. Anyway. You know what I mean, dog? Dog? He's eating, so I'm just gonna mostly be rambling. Listen, we're doing, whether he dies in the middle of this or not, I don't care, we're moving on. Anyway.
Hello?
Hello, how's it going?
Oh, okay, my bad, my headset unplugged.
You brother you brother lover. Don't ask me what that means. But yeah, Aranetto is cool. Aranetto for Smash. Anyway.
Oh, we were still on him?
Yeah, I was just rambling about Ananoto because he's cool. And I like that he's a more memorable villain, more memorable than one of the Espada that come in this section. Speaking of this section, the one thing I don't like is that the opening, actually, because the opening is an absolute banger. It's like a rap or whatever. It's kind of crazy. But there's like this one shot that spoils like the big twist of the entire effing show of this entire arc. That's why I made this like thumbnails and title like so vague, because I didn't want to spoil this in the thumbnail. But yeah, you can see characters, and you're like, oh, those characters are going to be in this location, and that's supposed to be like a big twist, and it's not because they're in the opening. But shut up, don't look at the opening. It's not as bad as opening 12 that I think like showed off like one of Soifan's abilities that were not shown off at that point. Uh-oh. But Bleach is usually like pretty good about not having spoiler openings. There's just a couple that are spoiler, and this is one of them. Also, the first 1000 Year Blood War opening has a lot of spoilers in it, but shut up anyway. But it's still a banger opening. Also, I don't know what this shot is supposed to be. Of Ichigo. There's just a lot of shots. There's also a lot of shots in this opening that just never happened, so maybe that's what they were trying to go for. It's like, oh, is this actually gonna happen or is it not? You don't know. Also, why is everyone looking at Ichigo and Omaida's just like looking at like at a random like building? What the fuck? Omaida, get your crap together. Okay. We'll pause for 5 seconds just to see if you have anything to add.
Nothing about. I mean, like the ruined city. Maybe that's a filler thing. I don't know. I don't watch the fillers.
I think it's supposed to be like the fake Karakura town, which is like the next arc. So I don't know, man.
That's really early into it because we still have a ways to go.
Yeah, right? Fake Karakura town is not even in this arc, so I don't know, man. Anyway, so because we just came back from a filler arc, like the first half of the first episode is a recap, and they have like this 4:3 aspect ratio, which I think is kind of cool. And then, you know what's even effing better? They seamlessly transition from recap 4:3 to full screen. Cause like
I remember this scene actually happening where like the screen slowly just widens.
That, I don't know, man. It's the tiniest things. I'm glad it's not just me, because like that scene is like burned into my memory forever, because it like blew my mind. I'm like, oh, the aspect ratio widened. That's crazy. And they made like a deal about it, and they seamlessly transitioned from recap to like new material. Is crazy. Listen, it's the little things I like, okay? I remember watching Naruto and being somewhat disappointed that all of a sudden the episodes are in widescreen and they did not mention it at all. But this I definitely remember. Meow 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 meow. I could did hold on. I'm reorganizing my notes as I'm doing this. Okay, you know what? I'll just say this real fast. Effing pink-haired guy's back.
Taking up way too much time in this arc.
Effing, I'm pretty sure Kubo just loves this guy.
I wish I knew why.
I mean, he's kind of creepy and cool. But yeah.
He's not the worst character.
Yeah, he's not forgettable. I'll tell you that. But yeah, I don't know why Kubo just keeps finding reasons to make him continue to be relevant. But in addition to everything we complained about last time, there were also like a lot of comic relief bits too. But I do like how I do like his resurrection, how it's like creepy and gross, like he eats his sword and then like inflates and then explodes into a weird creepy like this guy. So that's fun. I'll give you that one. And also I like his power about how he makes a little voodoo doll and then he pulls out the little organs and then crushes them. It's like, that's effed up. So I like that part. But again, like we had like effing 10 episodes of this guy's fight like last season, and we're continuing to do it, and it still doesn't get resolved. But it does get resolved this arc, okay? Be thankful that we get at least this much. But yeah, how the story actually starts is Grimjaw was like, "Hey, I'm not done. We're not done with our fight yet," and then he gets gawked. I don't know. Don't ask me to just define that word, but he gets gawked by Spoon Man. Which I will refer to him only as Spoon Man, because I kind of love and I kind of hate his design. What do you think about it?
I've never been a huge fan of this guy. He's like very, very popular though. A lot of people like him, and I think that's more of just what he does in these like episodes, who he interacts with rather.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's kind of meant to be a character that you're supposed to hate, so I guess. But why does he have a big spoon? Why does he have a big spoon in his head? Why is he in the shape of a spoon?
So I don't know what his weapon's supposed to be. Is that supposed to be a real weapon?
His weapon is cool, because he's supposed to be like this, like, I'm the strongest guy in the world, ha ha ha. So his weapon is very, like, big and awkward and overcompensating and funny. Hi, kitty. What do you want? So yeah, I don't know. Because basically, we have this fight with Ichigo, and then, by the way, this is like the last frame of the ending song, and Ichigo's face just looks kind of derpy here. Anyway, not important. Yes, kitty cat, what is it? What? I'm trying to do it. This is you see, you're wondering like, hey, why?
This is how we go over 3 hours.
Why do your streams always last like 5 or 6 hours when you always want them to last 3 hours? Is this a-hole? Anyway, so yeah, the more important thing that's happening here is, oh my gosh, you know that little like whiny baby? You know, this little, like, whiny little baby that has been following Ichigo around the whole time? It turns out, she's actually, super badass, and, the number 3 Espada, a former number 3 Espada before, okay, his name is, Noritora. Noritra? We're going with Noritra. But yeah, she's like this super badass because she like awakens because like Noitra Spoon Man knows her, and he's like, haha, you're just a little baby, and he's beating up Ichigo, and Ichigo's dying, and but Nell wakes up, and she is just I don't know how the fudge this happens. Because I know how she got turned into a baby, because her skull, her mask got, like, cracked, and she, like, leaked reishi, and their bodies are made out of reishi, so that's why her body got smaller. But why did it get bigger all of a sudden? I guess she was storing energy, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark? But yeah. And then she's also, got the revealing outfit, of course.
The classic.
This is a shonen anime after all. But I like it. It's like, because it's the same outfit that her like baby form has, but in the baby form it's like a onesie kind of like baby thing. But then like without you needing to change outfit, just changing like who's wearing it, it looks a lot cooler. So, you know what, I'm not complaining. You know what I am complaining about? Anime censored Nell's underboob. In the manga, you could see more of her underboob. So I'm just saying. But hey, we'll take what we can get. I don't have a lot of. Oh yeah, it was kind of foreshadowed earlier, like when she was a babby. She like inhaled like acero and like launched it back. And that is an ability that she can do as an Espada, so that's cool. I still don't know what was up with her, like, healing spit, though. That never comes back up. Because she spit on that Arrancar guy and to heal him. So I don't know. That was a bit weird. That was a little odd, don't you think?
I had to hold myself back from not making a Hawktua joke.
I appreciate you. I've been trying to do my best. I've been trying to do my best since the Dark Souls stream, where I found out that if you do Ichigo's heavy air into or medium air into heavy air, he goes Hawktua.
Getsuga on that thing.
Okay, we're moving on! See, aren't you glad that you waited this long for Azerad to come back so he could add such insightful commentary?
That's why I'm here.
That's why he's paid the big bucks. Maybe English was a terrible language, actually. So nan desu ka? Kore kara Nihongo de dake shabemasu. Okay, I can't do that bit. We can't go off on that bit. We can't go off on that bit. But yeah, so we have Nell's reveal and backstory. What was I gonna say? Frick. Okay. So we find out that she was a spot at number 3, and she was above Noritra in the past. I don't know how long in the past. I'm still not sure how long the Espada and Arrancar have existed. Because I think it was implied that Aizen was, like, playing around with them, like, before his, like, betrayal. So I want to say that they have, like, a decent amount of past, but whatever. They have some sort of past together. And, basically, Noritora is... Spoon Man is an a-hole! Because he's very, insecure, because the flashback starts with, like, Nell, kicking his ass. And him being like, "Oh no, I can't be defeated. This is bullshit." Yeah, he has a basically big thing about. See, I think he okay. This is another tangent that we can't go on, but I think the reason his big weapon is so big is because he's overcompensating for his fragile, tiny ego. Because that's basically his, like, character trait, is that, you know, he's very insecure and he wants to be viewed as, like, the strongest, but, like, he really isn't. He was like, I'm the best, but he's like, he doesn't have anything to back it up. He's all bark and no bites, except for that time where he almost killed Ichigo, but honestly, Ichigo was, like, half dead from the Grimmjow fight, okay? So that wasn't a fair fight. Yeah, he's also, like, willing to use underhanded tactics to get an upper hand, like, after he's sick of losing to Nell. Because also, he's, in addition to, you know, having a very fragile ego, being very, what is that word? Like, a fragile ego, basically.
Insecure?
Insecure is the word. And in addition to, like, not insecure in, like, I'm gonna grow and do my best kind of way. Insecure and I'm gonna be an a-hole to everyone I meet kind of way. But he's also just straight up misogynistic. Because he specifically doesn't like that Nell is a woman and she's stronger than him. He specifically goes out of his way to be like, I can't lose to a woman. So I think he's just kind of supposed to be a character you're supposed to hate. So with that, I kind of appreciate what they're doing, you know. I do like the occasional villain who you're supposed to hate and is just he's very good at it, you know. Not my favorite character type in archetype in stories, but you know what? It gets the point across. But yeah, so he's misogynistic, has a very fragile ego. And he thinks he's the strongest, but he's actually not. So he's willing to use underhanded tactics to get an upper hand. So in the flashback, he teamed up with a pink-haired guy, another one of our least favorite characters. Because pink-haired guy always has to be relevant no matter what's happening.
For some reason.
For reasons beyond our understanding. Also, of course he's in the video game. Don't worry about it. Anyway. So yeah, he teamed up with pink hair guy to basically, like, murder Nell's Fraccione, I think they're called, like the basically the lieutenants to the Espada, who are actually Pesce and Donna Chaka, which is also a fun twist that those comic relief characters are also like important. So he beats up Pesce and Donna Chaka, and then like I forget exactly how Pink Hair Guy helps. I think he like weakens her and then slashes her in the head, and then her mask cracks, and then she turns into a baby and loses her memory up until this very moment. So yeah, he's an a-hole! But I think his character really works because he kind of acts as like an opposite to Nell, who is the perfect opposite to him. Because Spoon Guy loves violence and is an a-hole, and Nell hates violence and is a little sweetie pumpkin pie. You know, she's also very, like, honorable and humble. Like, in their, like, practice fight, Noritora's like, why didn't you finish me off? This was supposed to be a fight to the death. And she's like, I'm not gonna, you know, kill a downed opponent, you know? And she's also very humble because, like, she was number 3, which, you know, that was, like, the old numbering. So she might, how powerful she actually is in question. But that's still really strong. And you know, she does a lot of like feats of strength of like overpowering Spoon Man. So she is actually very powerful, but she is very humble about it. And she values her teammates. That's another thing about Noritora. His Fraccione, he's a jerk to. I think he like literally punches him in the face at one point.
No.
And yeah,
he's like the Mayuri of the Espada.
We already have a Mayuri of the Espada.
Oh.
But, you know, instead of being a smart scientist, it's Underboob Lady. She has a name! Nelliel to Oldensvak, I think is her name. Nelliel to Odelsschwak. Don't ask me how to pronounce that, okay? I think it's not, is it Spanish or, it sounds German.
I think it's Spanish.
You think, okay, because all the Espada are, Spanish.
They're all Spanish. Names. That's the only reason why I'm, assuming it is.
Yeah. Also, hi, Tevin. How's it going? Here, just for you, I'll get a cap of the manga where you can see her under boob.
Oh, was this censored in the anime?
Yeah, like her shirt was made a little bit longer so you don't see her under boob, but
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the anime was weirdly censored. Like Soifan and Yoruichi's like outfits that reveals their side boob and back were also censored.
I know Bleach is notorious for a lot of its like gore censorship that's like present more in the manga.
Mm-hmm. But there's a couple instances. Also, a later character, Halle Bell, is also a little bit covered up in the anime. Only
because she's still pretty like.
And
still pretty out there.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll get to that later. But you know it's not censored. Bleach Rebirth of Souls discussion coming soon. TM.
We have to finish these 5 episodes that we're talking still about Nell.
Well, it's mostly about Nell, okay? But yeah, Nell's great. Because again, I hate Noritora, and she's basically the opposite of Noritora, and so I feel the opposite about her, and i.e., she's great. I love her. Because yeah, she hates violence and avoid it if can. She's honorable and humble. She values her teammate. And also, Noritora basically cheated to get where he was, and like, because I think he was like 9 before, and his number is like 5, I think. I forget. I'm pretty sure he is currently 5, but his number used to be a lot lower. I think it was 8. Looking it up. We don't need to look. We don't super need to look it up, but you know what? I just 8. Okay, he used to be an 8, and now in the present day he's a 5. But yeah, so Spoon Man cheated to get where he is, and Nell's position was taken from her. And again, she's actually strong, and she's just an overall badass. And then for those reasons, and her just being like a fun character up to this point, because she's even in her like baby form, she was still like a fun like comic relief character. So I liked having her around. She and Orihime are like my two favorite girls in the series. I'm not gonna lie. I know that a lot of people like Soifan, a lot of people like other Yoruichi. Okay,
People like the ones that fight.
Shut up! Shut up! Listen. Yoruichi's. I also agree. Yoruichi is cool. Okay, but I don't know. Maybe I just have a thing for green. I might have a thing for girls with green hair. I don't have a type. What are you talking about? Yeah, but funny enough, okay, so it has the same color actor as Susie from Zatch Bell. I think you were telling me that before when I was watching Zatch Bell. Oh yeah, she also turns into a centaur, which a lot of people don't like, but I actually kind of dig. Again, I might have a thing for like monster girls, and centaurs count. But I definitely like her centaur resurrection. It makes her look very like dignified. Again, very much Noritora's opposite, where he's like a grumbly, evil little demon man, and she's just a very noble, regal knight who, and so her release form being a centaur, makes sense. I like it. Do you like it?
I don't dislike it.
I don't hate it.
I'm like mixed on it, because overall I like it and I think it does fit her really well. But at the same time, these like episodes don't go like crazy with the animation which makes sense, because I guess Grimmjow happened and then a ton of filler. So I think overall it's fine. Maybe I would like it more if I saw the manga panels, because those can make those action scenes.
Yeah, I know they messed up her in the anime. Her hair is kind of like blue, but in the manga, her hair is just straight green. So again, a thing with the anime getting colors wrong. Don't worry about it. Yeah, let me try to find like a good shot of her in the manga. No! What the fuck? Okay, whoever invented WEPB files needs to find my house.
Oh.
I had to hold back on saying something very obscene there. Can we at least make any program ever recognize those files? Because it makes things very inconvenient. Yeah, there's her with her green hair and more underboob. But yeah, she's cool. I like her a lot, but yeah, as opposed to like, what does she do? She shows up and then as she's about to defeat Noritora, she goes back to her baby form. So it's like her mask is still cracked and was still like leaking reishi, so she just kind of like went back to her baby form. So yeah, cool character, very underutilized. I think Nell should have won against Noritora here, but she definitely won the philosophical battle,
Mm-hmm.
She definitely was like, hey, I have friends, I have the moral high ground, yeah. So whatever. But how Noritora actually gets defeated is cool too.
Yeah, I think even if like someone's a huge Nell fan, who Nora fights afterwards is pretty cool.
I'll take that.
I don't think anyone can complain about that.
Also, yeah, we have time. Here's some fun facts from Club Outside, which is just basically like Kubo dropping a bunch of lore that he didn't have time to drop in actual. Who's messaging me on Discord? Folks, like, what the F did you mean by that? I'll explain that later. I don't have time to explain that right now. I sent Poke a very vaguely worded commission request. Anyway, not important right now. So on Club Outside, it says that Okay, every Espada has like an aspect of like death, which I think is pretty cool because they're like, I don't know, they're supposed to be. What are they supposed to be? They're supposed to be like, they symbolize death in some way, okay? Like Grimjow represented destruction. Noitorad represents despair. Aninero represents greed. And Nell's aspect of death is sacrifice. And I think that's fitting, considering the fact that, yeah, she didn't necessarily sacrifice things. She just got sacrificed. Does that count? Don't worry about it. Another fun fact is Nell's hollow hole is located inside her heart, which was a question I had for a very long time. Is where the hell is Nell's hollow hole? Because
I didn't even know that.
All the Espadas have like holes, like hollow holes depicting like regular hollows do. Like Grimjow had it like in his stomach. Ukiora has it like in his neck. But like we see her like almost naked, and we still don't know where her hollow hole is. So it's in her heart, which is symbolic of like, you know, she lost something or whatever. I don't know. And also, fun fact, okay? According to Taidakubo on his fan site Club Outside, Neliel has the largest bust size among the Bleach cast.
Really?
Canonically, the stackedest. And I'm like, are you sure? And then I had to look back, and I'm like, I guess. He draws her a little inconsistently, but I think he did comment on the fact that, like, Nell's supposed to have the largest bust size, but ends up drawing characters like Rangiku bigger. Don't worry about it.
About to say, Rangiku definitely looks a lot larger.
Don't worry about it. Anyway, next episode. Did you have anything more to say about Nell?
I did not.
Okay. Nell's cool. I like Nell. Again, I wish she did more, but sucks to be me. I don't remember why I had the screen up. I think it's for like a comic. I think it's for like a comic relief bit. Oh yeah, when Nell like unleashes her full powers, Pesce and Dondonchaka in the pink hair guy fight, like, be like, oh, I guess it's time for us to get serious too. And Pesce, like, goes to grab his sword, but it looks like he's about to, like, whip out his wee-wee. And then it just cuts to this being like, please wait 1 second. And then it's like, it's not actually his wee-wee, it's his sword. There you go. Here's your comic relief for the day. Oh, yeah? Again, I'm not a huge fan of the pink hair guy fight because, like, in addition to it taking forever, they also stop, like, every 5 seconds to have, like, a comic relief bit in there, too. So, like, it's just all over the place. Forgot about that. Please return to forgetting about that. Anyway, Nell's back to being a babby. And Ichigo's about to effing die. And then, oh my god, is effing Kenny! This is one of my effing favorite, like, reveals in all of Bleach. Because it, like, it's one of those, like, really good plot twists that, like, really, like, change the entire, like, rest of the story going forward. Because before, it was, like, pretty much a, like, a lot of retread of the Soul Society arc. But now they're like, hey, all the cool characters from the previous season are here, and they're here to help, and this is about to get a lot crazier than you thought. Udio makes a fourth wall in that scene. Oh yeah, Udio's like, we can't show that in this time slot. Something like to that effect. But yeah, Kenpachi and effing Byakuya and Unohana and Mayuri all show up and was like, hey, we're here to help. And I effing love it. Because previously they're like, hey, Soul Society's not going to help you because we think Orihime's a traitor. And then they're just like, JK. I love that to be continued sign. Mm-hmm. This to be continued page. It's really great. But yeah, they're like, so we're not going to help you. And then they're like, JK, we were just, you know, stalling time, I guess. I'm not sure. I'm still not 100% sure why they were waiting this long. But hey, I think they just needed to, like, get their, like, reorganize and regroup. I think they were trying to fool Aizen, actually, is what I think they were trying to do. but we can't effing fool Aizen. You all know that. But yeah, effing I love the twist, and then the title card for 196 has the flowers for each of the squads that the 4 captains belong to, which I think is cool. Some lore, by the way. Won't get into it right now, but each like squad in the 13 court guard squads is represented by a flower, and that flower is like represents like something that is related to that squad. Look it up later. Not right now.
I like that we finally get to see these captains in more of a protagonist rather than antagonist role in this part of the arc.
Especially Byakuya. Thank you for that that transition. But yeah, I love who everyone saves, because Kenpachi comes to save Ichigo, which is fun because they had like a little rivalry going on. So Kenpachi coming to save Ichigo is fun. Mayuri saves Uryu of all people, and they definitely had like a history together. Last time they saw each other, Uryu murdered Mayuri, shot a giant hole through his chest. It's the roof tiles, man. And then Byakuya saves his sister, who he almost let die in the previous arc. So we show like character development for him, of like, hey, you know, that was a special case. You know, this is how I normally am. I'm gonna you know, throw down to save my effing sister. And also like the fights of Kenpachi and Noritora being like a tough guy fight, and Mayuri and pink-haired guy being a mad scientist fight, and then Byakuya and what's his face being like a speed battle. Okay, because we'll start with the least impressive fight, which is Byakuya versus the most forgettable Arrancar Espada.
I put a gun to my head. I don't know his name.
I'm looking it up. I want to say it begins with a Z. I want to say it begins with a Z, because he has.
I have a feeling he won't make it into Rebirth for Souls. I'm
gonna say, if there's any Espada that are not making the cut, then it's definitely Zabmari is his name. Zomari is his name. And yeah, like, he has a cool design. I like his little like mohawk thing he's got going on. The after credits comedy bit. Oh yeah, where they're both like speedsters. And then in the after credits comedy bit that I was telling you about that you don't remember, you don't watch that. Actually, I'm gonna find you like a place to just watch all of those, because it's probably better. Yeah, this guy, he's like, I'm super fast, and then teleports behind Byakuya, and he's like, no, I'm faster than you, and then teleports behind him, and he's like, no, I'm faster than you, teleports behind him, and they end up like teleporting out of like the studio and like down the street. It's really funny. But yeah, outside of like that, and like this is like Byakuya's like first fight like post being a bad guy. I like it. I like Byakuya. Byakuya is one of my favorite characters, and so he hard carries this fight. I think those are on YouTube. Don't say that. Don't listen, TV Tokyo. No, those are not on YouTube. Don't look it up.
Don't let Shueisha hear you.
Don't let Shueisha hear you. Even though those are canon to understand a very minor plot point in Thousand Year Blood War. Anyway, not important right now. Yeah, I like this fight mostly just because of my love for Byakuya, and finally seeing him care about Rukia, like go out of his way, like he's like very much like, hey, you fucking messing with my effing sister, that's kind of bullshit. He says something about, you know, that's an attack against my pride and I won't let this stand, some cool one-liner that he says, okay? Listen, I wasn't paying too much attention to what he says. I was mostly looking at his beautiful eyes. I might have a couple of boy crushes in this series. I'm not gonna lie.
Who could blame you?
Who could blame you? But yeah, as far as like Zobamari, I've already forgot his name. The guy who you can see the back of his head. He has very like one-dimensional like powers and personality, because he's also like a very stoic, like I will do what must need to be done. But so he's basically just a less interesting Byakuya. And also his powers are also very one-dimensional, because he's like fast, and his like gimmick is that he can like shoot things and then control those things. Because at one point, like, he controls Rukia's like unconscious body and tries to make her like tries to kill her like that, and Byakuya uses like a paralysis spell on her to make her stop. And then like he also like takes over Byakuya's like arm and leg, and he just cuts the like tendons in his arm and leg, and is like to stop that from being a problem. So that's cool. But and there's also his resurrection is just like a big pink pumpkin. Why is it a why? Okay, why the dude who his whole big thing is that he's like the fastest Espada, right? Mm-hmm. So why does his resurrection get rid of his legs and make him unable to like move? Explain to me that one.
I wish I had the answers, but only Kubo has the answers.
Listen, Kubo is just a person. At the end of the day, we all make mistakes. He was not cooking for this guy. But I do like how, I like this fight just because Byakuya does Zenbonk Zakura Kageyoshi. And he's like, yeah, let's see you try to control 1 billion million flower petals. And he's like, wait, I can only control like 51 things at a time. And I thought that would be enough, but whoops. Whoopsies. And then something else that's cool is this shot, and also Byakuya kills him with the same move that he used to kill Ichigo in the first arc, and he's in the same outfit too, because his like captain cloak like fell off. So I think that's a fun. That's his signature move, I guess. Is that he cuts the soul sleeve and soul chain. So I think that's funny. And then Zobamari is like, oh, who are you to decide that we should die, and blah 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 blah. It doesn't matter. You're being purified and sent to the next realm. Okay, shut up, don't think about it. But yeah, it's Byakuya hard carries that fight, because Zobamari just it's not it, man. His aspect of death is also intoxication. I don't know why. The fudge does that even mean?
I guess that means like dying from substance abuse?
I guess. But what substance did he abuse? Was he drunk on power? Because he thought that he was all powerful, and he just got completely stomped on by Byakuya. Like Byakuya barely like busted a sweat. That's not a broke a sweat in this fight. So whatever. Byakuya's cool. Anyway, moving on. We got
Next captain.
This is actually the part of the pink glasses fight that I like, because we got two like mad scientists going against each other. Mayuri's still evil, by the way, because last time we saw him, he was like, oh yeah, I tortured and experimented and killed your grandfather, and he was also like abusing his like subordinate, whatever the fudge Nels.
He's always abusing his lieutenant.
He's abusing his lieutenant. We'll get to that in a second, Tevin. Lieutenant, yeah. Because I know what it actually is, but I don't know if that was like revealed at this point in the series. But I love that Mayuri like pulled an Uno reverse card on Pink Hair Arrancar, because he does that thing where he turns him into a puppet and then like destroys all of his organs, and he's like, oh no, you got me, and he's like, bleh, just kidding. Which is exactly what the pink hair glasses guy did in like this fight against Renji and Uryu. And he's like, oh yeah, before the fight, I placed a bunch of like, you know, spy bugs on Uryu, and I already replaced all of my organs before the fight, so that doesn't do anything, yeah. Casually replacing his organs, yeah. That's the thing. He said like, oh yeah, like an hour ago, I replaced all of my organs, so that doesn't work on me. Like, that's crazy. Also, unrelated note. I don't know if I have a good picture of it. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay. Is the blue, like, part of his, like, Mayuri's in a new outfit for reasons beyond my understanding. Is the blue part on his outfit supposed to be his hair? Because he does have...
I think that's a cloth, I think.
He does have blue hair. Because we saw at the very end of the Soul Society arc that he has blue hair. We also see later that he has blue hair. And the Wikipedia claims that it's... The wiki claims that it's, like, his hair, like, curled into, like, a horn. But I never saw it. I always interpreted it as, like, a cloth or something. So would that affect his organs if they're in a different room? I'm assuming that's what's happening. Like, his real organs are just, like, in a jar somewhere, like, getting exploded randomly. But anyway, I do like how Mayuri's always changing his look, and how apparently he stopped brushing his teeth at some point. Because now his teeth are yellow. His teeth were not yellow before.
No, he got, like, the golden grills.
He got that gold... Yeah, he got gold teeth. Come here, liver effing exploded. Yeah. He was serving that as like a side dish in the Soul Society cafeteria, and someone was just eating it and just went... We're still on time. Don't worry about it.
We didn't even get to the biggest part yet. Oh, no.
Meow, meow, meow. I've not heard the word grill in forever. I'm not even sure what he was referring to. I'm assuming teeth.
Yeah, you never see. That's what they're called.
Okay, yeah. That's what they were called in 2002. But we're staying to the times. Okay, another effed up part is that Mayuri does his Bankai and basically kills pink-haired guy. But I think his Bankai, like, explodes at some, like, it turns evil, like, he controls the Bankai at some point, and then Mayuri just, like, okay, then self-destructs the Bankai. Which kind of doesn't make sense, considering what happens later, but shut up, don't think about it, we'll explain it later. Not important right now. The real important part is that, the pink-haired guy, Xylopodo, dies, but then he has, like, a special ability where he plants, like, an egg sac in someone and then gets reborn through them. And, like, first of all, second of all, and, third of all, how this happens is, Nemu, like, coughs up, like, pink smoke, and then, Xylopodo kind of, like, appears out of the pink smoke. So, and then Nemu's, like, just dead, basically. And that was a censored version from what happened in the manga, because what happened in the manga is that, Xylopodo just crawled out of Nemu's mouth, like, completely intact, and just wiggled his way out of her mouth. And I'm like, and apparently, that was even the censored version of what Kubo wanted. Because in a different Q&A, Kubo's like, "Oh yeah, my original idea for that scene was rejected, so I had to change it." And I'm like, I don't want to know. 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 I don't want to think about it. I don't want to know. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to know. I don't want to think about it. The censored version already grossed me out, let alone the censored version. I don't want to know what the original idea was, okay? I don't want to think about it. Do you have any comments about what I just said?
I just feel bad for Nemu.
I feel bad for Nemu. Pour one out for Nemu. She goes through so much crap.
I'm hoping where I'm at in Thousand Year Blood War, good things happen to her.
Hold on, I gotta mute Discord real fast. Don't tell him! Don't fucking tell Sorry, I had like a thing in my throat. Anyway, so as bad as the pink-haired guy was, okay, listen, pink-haired guy, he's an a-hole. We hate him. He did a lot of terrible things. I don't know if he got deserved what effing he got done to him. What effing happened to him is like one of my favorite moments in Bleach, but just because of how horrifying it is, it's just so effed up. Is that he's like, oh yeah, by the way, when you were reborn in Nemu, you got a drug implanted in you, and this drug gives you superhuman reaction speed, and basically like every second feels like 100 years. And then Xylopodo like starts moving like very slowly, and then Mayuri like stabs him through the hand and then through the heart, and then but that for that like 3 seconds that it took to kill him for everyone took like several hundred years for Xylopodo, and they have a scene where he's just like, how long has it been? 100 years, 200 years, maybe more. I just want this stupid thing, this stupid sword to kill me, please. And it's like, what the fudge, Kubo? You didn't have... I know that he is like a super bad guy, and Mayuri is also a bad guy, but that was effed up. That was like nightmare-inducing levels of effed up.
They're both like the most like apprehensible characters in Bleach.
Yeah. But Mayuri's like cool. But Mayuri is like cool.
I guess.
Mostly because his fights are more interesting than pink-haired guy, and that's it. Am I muted anywhere? Can you hear me?
I hear you fine.
Okay. I always get Wait, where the fudge is Araneto's hollow hole? This is me getting distracted. Meow 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 meow. Does not say.
How is Aranero only like number 9 in the Espada compared to some of these guys when he's like got more screen time than like the 8th and 7th one?
Good question, because yeah, Noritora kind of dies in this arc, and then the guy who I can't remember his name that Byakuya beat like barely got any screen time.
Zomari.
I don't know. I didn't know it was just cool like that. I think the reason like he was technically weak, but he went against Rukia, who's also like, you know, only has a Shikai and doesn't have like a Bankai. And also he was just effing with her the entire time. So don't worry about it. He's just cool like that, okay? No, I don't know where his hollow hole is. It does not say. It was... I'm assuming his hollow hole is the space between the two heads. That's what the hollow hole is. But yeah, that's... aside from the most effed up way that you could die, possibly. Xylopodo claims himself to be, like, a perfect being... Because he's like, oh, I'm immortal, you know, I can revive myself as many times. And then Mayuri is like, yeah, that's bullshit. Because Mayuri goes on this big, long speech about how perfection is meaningless for scientists. Because they're both, like, mad scientists. So he's like, as soon as you said perfection, you lost. I have the full quote. You want me to read it?
If you have the full quote.
I'm reading. I just gotta find the best Mayuri voice to read it in, though. There is nothing in this world that is truly perfect. Though it may be a rather large cliche, it is still the truth. It is the ordinary people who look up to perfection as an ideal and seek after it. But in truth, what is the idea of perfection truly worth? Nothing! Not a single thing! I detest perfection. To be perfect is to be unable to improve any further. There'd be no scope for creation, not a single gap in one's knowledge or one's ability. Do you see now? To true scientists like you and I can't do this voice for this long. To true scientists like you and I, perfection is tantamount to despair. We aspire to reach greater levels of brilliance than ever before, but never, never to reach perfection. That is the paradox through which we scientists must struggle. Indeed, it is our duty to find pleasure in that struggle. In other words, the second you allowed yourself to spout a ridiculous word like perfect, in truth, you had already been defeated. That is, if you wish to be treated as a scientist. Fire. Bars.
Go off, King.
Basically, like, Mayuri's like, yeah, I'm going to keep progressing and keep getting better and keep getting good, and you're satisfied with where you are, and that's why you suck and I'm great. And I also like how it, like, comes back later. This speech a little bit. And also, after the fight with, pink-haired guy, I already forgot his name, Xylopodo, Mayuri finds, like, this door of Xylopodo's, like, collection of his specimen collection. And that is not important until, like, way, way later. So, but just remember that Mayuri found this door, and that, later when it comes up that it's not an asshole. Like some people think, it's just from 400 episodes ago. Anyway, have anything more to say about Perfection, Mayuri?
I don't.
But you, how many Quarters of Thousand Year Blood War did you watch?
Just two. Just the first two.
Okay, so you know what the store is referring to. Anyway, anyway, we won't spoil it for the little kiddos. I don't know why I'm talking about people who are still watching who have not. Whatever. The little kid. Anyway, we're not gonna spoil it for the little kiddos. And then we have the Kenpachi fight. Also, if in case you're wondering where Noritora's Spoon Man's hole is, it's in his eye, which is a fun moment where Kenpachi thinks he won because he stabbed him through the head, and it's like, nope, that's just his hollow hole. And his mask, too, which is fun. But I really don't have much to say about it, other than, it was a fun fight, because, like, oh, you know, it's Kenpachi's just a fun character. And then Spoon Man gains, like, 15,000 more arms. Again, maybe this is, I didn't get he sprouts like 18 more arms after this. Again, maybe his whole visual design is overcompensation for how weak he is. Think about it. Think about it. He's thinking about it.
I'll be thinking about it.
I also like the comments of Yachiru, because Orihime's healing Ichigo and shielding Yachiru, and Yachiru's like, oh, you know, Kenny's having fun. I mention that every time it comes up. I still like the translation of Kenshan to Kenny. It just works perfectly. There's a lot of fun moments of, like, these guys are just having a great time. Like, doing this fight, like, they're just having, they're going back and forth. Kenpachi's having, they both, like, battling to the death. They're just having a great time. But my favorite part is near the end of the battle when Kenpachi's like, crap, I might actually might die. I don't want to die, then I wouldn't be able to battle anymore. So he gets his, like, in addition to taking off his eye patch, he gets maybe, I don't know, it's kind of sounds stupid, one of my favorite power-ups of the series, where he decides to use his sword with 2 hands. Because this whole time, his fight with Ichigo, the fight with Tosen, and then the fight up until now, he's only been fighting with 1 hand. He's like, that's just been his, like, fighting style. And he's like, fine, I'll go all out. I remember this one thing that, you know, they made me take 1 class of training in the 13 Court Guard squad. And that they taught me about, you know, kendo and how a sword is better if you hold it with 2 hands. So, like, the fact that, like, he's been holding back twice. He's been holding back because of the eye patch, and he's also been holding back just by, you know, not using 2 hands.
Try.
I'll show you the power of 2 hands. And then as soon as he does 1 swing with both of his hands and instantly deletes Noritora. Like, just absolutely, like, he swings down and, like, this giant energy beam just, like, slashes him in half. Like, that's crazy. It's one of the most, like, simplest power-ups But it's like really effective because Kenpachi's fun because he's like one of the more like simple characters. The bells in his hair. Oh yeah, bells. They explain that in the Ichigo fight where the bells are to warn so he can't sneak up on the opponent, so the opponent is just as another handicap. But yeah, I just like the fact that I love Bleach's power system of the Shikai and Bankai and the Arrancar resurrection. I definitely love that power system. But I like the power system also because there's a character that breaks that power system, being Kenpachi. So it's really fun. Also, okay, listen. I hate power scaling. People are like, oh, you know, this guy is on like city destroying level, and this guy is on a country destroying level. So, and I'm like, this is all BS, and only something that, you know, like YouTubers making clickbait thumbnails care about. This scene made me take note of IRL's Japanese swords. Japanese swords are meant to be used with 2 hands. I also did like took like one or two kendo classes when this show was first airing. Not important right now. Anyway, but I'll mention it just for in case anyone who's wondering, because even though Bleach is all about like physical, like metaphorical, like psychological battles, and it doesn't really matter who's stronger and who's weaker because everyone has like different like powers and abilities. Like Mayuri won not because he was stronger, but because like, you know, he one-upped Xylopodo. They still operate like IRL Japanese swords. Yeah, don't worry. It just looks cool, okay? Shut up, don't think about it. Anyway, people say that the power scaling doesn't make sense here because Kenpachi lost against Shikai Ichigo, and Shikai Ichigo got like Bankai and a Hollow Mask, and he could barely beat number 6 of the Espada number 6, and then Kenny just took out Espada number 5 with not a lot of effort. I didn't say it was bad. I wasn't talking about you. So people are like, power scaling doesn't make any sense. Shut up! Shut up, shut up, shut up. That's not what they're going for. Second of all, they do explain the different levels of Ichigo and Kenpachi's power here, like later on. And also, like here, they implied that, you know, Kenpachi makes a comment of like, oh yeah, during my fight with Ichigo, I was a little rusty. And also, he didn't use 2 hands in his fight with Ichigo. And they also, explain it more later. And also, it doesn't matter. The power scaling is not like a focus in Bleach with its more like psychological fight. So it kind of doesn't matter, but, you know. And also, in general, Bleach uses, like, unique powers rather than just raw power, but... So, it kind of doesn't matter, but shut. That's all I had to say. I wasn't bullying you, Tevin. There was just... People on YouTube were like, Bleach is a bad story because this doesn't make sense about how Kenpachi can beat the number 5 when Ichigo barely beat the number 6, and Ichigo should be this level. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up.
Shonen anime fans are the worst when it comes to that.
Shonen anime fans are, especially those who make clickbait YouTube thumbnails and whine about things in forums. The power scaling does make sense if you actually effing, like, look at the show and take in all the information that they showed you. And B, it doesn't even matter anyway. Okay, angry rant over, I promise.
Next, Captain.
That was it. That was it.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right, because the other captain that showed up,
Unohana, she kind of showed up and, like, she saw, like, the janitor crew. Fandom's being illiterate, never! Be nice to the Ichigo Rukia shippers, okay? They can't read. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Unohana showed up and she's like, oh, I'm just here to heal people, so I don't want to fight you. And like the janitor crew of the Espada are like, okay, see you later, and then left. So she's just here to heal people. Like Orihime was healing Ichigo, And I think Nell, I don't remember what happened to Nell. She got kicked off screen, don't worry about it. And then, but she's here to, like, heal. She healed, like, Rukia and Chad and everyone else. I think she was also in the middle of healing Renji and Uryu, and also was fixing up Byakuya's severed limbs, like, cut off tendons. But yeah, she just kind of shows up and was like, I don't want to fight you, and they're like, okay, and then that's it, that's all she does. She's just a healer. There's nothing, you know, special secret about her, don't worry about it. Anyway. I also really like the last shot of the fight. Because, okay, so Kenpachi does the big, he uses two hands and swings his sword, and that wins. And then Noritora is, like, all, like, defeated, and he's like, why don't you finish me off? And Kenpachi's like, no, get stronger and fight me next time. And then he's like, no, that's my dream, is to die in battle. And that's apparently all that Noritora wanted, and I'm like, okay. Like, his Spoon Man's arc is kind of flat. Like, he just wants to be the strongest, doesn't like pity. The only thing that he really has going for him is, like, his insecurities that we talked about, and, like, his whole, like, he only wanted, you know, to die in battle. I guess that's why he hated Nell, other than the fact that she was a woman, is that, like, she also spared his life before. But Kenpachi's like, you want to die that bad? Then fine, die. And then he killed him. And I also, like, at the very end, Noritora and Nell, like, kind of share a look. And I think it's kind of fitting. Listen, even though Nell didn't win the, like, power fight, she won, like, the philosophical fight, okay? Because there she is, like, in her weakened child state, alive, and Noritora is there in his most powerful state and dead.
Dead, yeah.
But yeah, it made it really feel... In my heart, Nell won the battle of that fight. You know, Kenpachi was just there for moral support. Or whatever the opposite of that was.
I need my moral support to do what Kenpachi does to his enemies.
Hit. And then we set up for the next arc where Aizen has his big brain plan. Hold on. Aizen has his big brain plan of, hey, you know that whole thing about kidnapping Orihime? That was just to lure Ichigo and his friends and some of the captains to Wako Mundo, and then he goes off to Katakura Town. He, Tozengin, and the rest of the Arrancars, minus Ukiura, all go off to Katakura Town, and then lock the door behind them, basically. So then they're all trapped in Wako Mundo. And he's like, so that in combination with the Gote 13 losing 3 of their captains means that they're basically half in strength. Because they're down 3 captains, and then there were 4 captains in Wako Mundo. So they're down 7 out of 13. So, yeah, Aizen kidnapped, or that's the reason that Aizen kidnapped Orihime. He was interested in their powers, but it was mostly just to lure Ichigo and friends here. But they still got people! They still got people! We got the squad! I love the fact that they pulled up the squad. And also, the next arc is called Fake Karakura Town Arc, because the Soul Society saw that Aizen might have been... Because Aizen is trying to, like, destroy Katakura Town so he can make the Oken, so he can go to the Soul Palace. So, and ahead of that, they replaced Katakura Town with a fake Katakura Town. And then they put the real Katakura Town and everyone else to sleep and hid it in the Soul Society. Which is basically just a reason for them to fight in Katakura Town and blow shit up without having to hold back. Mm-hmm. So, it makes a cool set dressing for the next fight. I love that so much. Yeah, they destroy buildings. If there was anyone alive, if that was a real Katakura Town, everyone would be dead. So it's probably a good thing that they did that. Although I don't know what kind of effing voodoo magic. Yes, kitty cat. I don't know what kind of effing voodoo magic they'd use to replace an entire town, but whatever. They're the Gote 13. I'm sure they can do that. Let's just take Bikini Bottom and move it, push it somewhere else. Exactly. But yeah, and then that goes into the next arc. And overall, I definitely like this arc a lot. I like Nell. I like the fights, even though they weren't all bangers, but you know, they were still cool. There were some of the really cool fights. And again, they just like a huge pace change of what the series has been up to, because the Arrancar arc up until now has just been like the Soul Society arc, but different a little bit. But now it's just like, this is completely new territory, so I like it a lot. The only thing I didn't like about this particular batch of episodes is that they switch like between different scenes a lot. Like, I went for these fights in like out of order, like I grouped the fights together, but they do like switch back and forth. Like they do a little bit of this fight, and a little bit of that fight, and a little bit of this fight in like each episode. And that's just a personal preference, but I don't like that. But I do understand the benefit of doing that, because it adds to a feeling of like things are happening at the same time and there's like this hectic war going on. But I don't know, I just prefer things to be neatly grouped together, mostly because I have a bad memory. But after, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, I also don't really like that, and a lot of other battle shonen seem to do that. And I also get it, right? Like, you get the appeal of everything happening like at once, and I understand also that like, if you were to have like the fights happen one after another, the question would be, well, why didn't that character, when he's done his fight, go to help in the next?
Yeah, I mean, you can still just say like, okay, these things happened at the same time.
Yeah.
But they mostly, after this section, this is the only section that really like this and like the Arrancar section with the pink hair guys fight is like, after this, like the show really doesn't do that a whole lot. It's usually just like the fights are still happening at the same time, but like one episode it's this fight, and then the next episode it's this fight, and then the next episode we go back to that fight, and I like that a little bit better, because we can at least have like one episode be dedicated to one fight, and I think that works out a lot better. Remember something, that's when is this when the series started showing the episode before it starts? What? Anyway, do you have anything to say about this batch of episodes?
Not really.
Okay. What was your favorite fight?
I think by default it's really Kenpachi, because Byakuya kind of one shots his opponent, and also I don't like Arineto or wait, is that his name? The pink haired guy?
The Sailapido is the pink haired guy.
Sailapido, yeah. No, I don't like him at all.
Yeah, how that fight ended was pretty cool, but yeah, it was just good to get that fight over with after being going on for so long. And then yeah, Byakuya basically one-shotted. So I'd also say that would have to be my favorite fight, but I also really like the Nell backstory.
Yeah, I like Nell as a character overall, so.
Whatever the opposite of recap is. Oh yeah, like the... Again, not if you're doing this on a rewatch and you know this is happening, not really an issue, but the show does do a lot of like, this is what's coming up on this episode, and also here's what happened last time, and that's like half the episode, because they wanted to try to stretch out these episodes a little bit to not have so much filler. But, you know, you just skip through that, it's fine. Meow, meow, meow. Oh yeah, one thing before, and okay, so, there was, like, one filler episode after this. Yeah, there's, like, one or two, like, filler episodes after this. And in one of those filler episodes, look who you can see in the background. Look, there she is.
It's canon!
It's canon! This isn't a separate filler episode, but shut up! Shut up! It's canon! I love that. I love that. Whoever put that little detail in there, shout outs to you. You're my favorite person now. Inuyasha, Pokemon, etc. Yeah. But in the like long term, like basically before like what they do now, where they take long breaks in between, so they don't have to do filler episodes. So, you know, and you know what? That's overall a good thing. Most filler is really bad, but there are some like good filler episodes. Okay. Anyway, speaking of which, yeah, we'll just put this on the screen for the time being. So yeah, that was this batch of episodes. This was shorter because there wasn't a whole lot to talk about. B, I think this was only like 14 episodes. It's like the shortest batch that I got. C, it's been a while, so I don't remember exactly everything that happened. So I'm probably glossing over some stuff. And C, we gotta go to the next part. Next time we got a good old flashback arc and fake Arrancar arc. I really like a good flashback arc, and this is a good ass flashback arc, because it's not just like one character flashback arc. It's like we get to see, like, we go 100 years in the past and see what the Gote 13 were like 100 years in the past, and we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 episodes of just that flashback, and it's good. I like it a lot, so I'm excited. And
it's a great flashback.
And we can finally explain why Hisagi has 69 tattooed on his face. It was been a spoiler up till now, but next discussion we'll finally explain it. I also remember not being a big fan of the fake Karakura Town arc back in the day, because I think that's where I dropped the dub originally. Because it's just like fight after fight after fight, and like everyone gets a fight. But maybe now that I know and care more about like the characters, I can appreciate it more. You know, maybe I'll come around on Kira after seeing his episode, because that is like literally like we got all the previous characters and they all get like an episode, like everyone. Like we get Yamachika gets an episode, Kita gets an episode, Hisagi gets an episode, stuff like that. It's cool. So I hopefully will appreciate it more. And the next batch of episodes, if you were to please... Not tip goal, where the fudge is image? Okay. If you were to please refer to the graph, the next batch of episodes is 206 to 228. Not including 113 and 114. And also 228, but 228 is the beach episode. So yes, I'm including the beach episode in this rewatch. No, it isn't canon, and no, I don't care. It's the beach episode. Did you see the beach episode? Because I know you were watching the series of the filler list.
I actually did not, so you know what? I'm gonna have to
go watch
tune in for that.
Go watch the beach episode, please. I beg you. 228. Right? Yeah, 228, Summer Sea Swimsuit Festival. Hell yeah! It's also somewhat canon because there was like a spin-off chapter of Bleach on the Beach. So it's not like canon, but it's also from the manga, so we'll count it. It's the beach episode. So yeah, and there's only 3 batches of canon episodes and discussions before ending the Arrancar arc. We will try to finish that before Rebirth of Souls comes out. Because I think if we do that, like, one discussion every other week, I think we'll be able to finish, like, the weekend before Rebirth of Souls comes out. So we will try that, but we make no promises. We might die. Azerad?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't know I was supposed to be talking.
And there is a cool filler arc in here, and there's some movies that we'll be skipping over. We'll come back to those. We'll circle back to those. But right now, like, the Rebirth of Souls is going to cover all the way up until that episode, so we're just gonna be like, okay, before Rebirth of Souls comes out, I want to finish the rewatch and the discussion. But we will get back to the cool filler arcs and the movies and the rest of the series. So, if you liked what you saw, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. But listen, only subscribe if you want more of this, okay? Only subscribe if you actually, like, enjoy what you're seeing, okay? I don't care about big number go up. I want actual people who care. Okay, the number means nothing if it's a bunch of people who don't care. So if you actually care, then yeah. But do you have anything to say?
Nothing pertaining to this.
Okay, so we will take a short intermission. I will make a separate stream thing. Can I schedule a stream while I'm in the middle of another stream? Because we will talk the Bleach anime discussion has concluded for the moment. But you know, we still got some extra time left, so we're gonna talk about Bleach Rebirth of Souls and why we are hyped for that. I'm gonna say we are beyond hyped for this game. That's gonna be the title of the stream. You're beyond hyped for the game, right?
I'm extremely excited.
Okay.
I'll go into my thoughts later.
And if he's not, then just say I'm using the royal we. Wait, oh frick! I think I do have to end the stream before scheduling a different stream, because it's only letting me edit this stream. It's not letting me like make a new stream. So whatever. Just give us 5 seconds. We'll be right back. Don't touch that dial. And by that, I mean, please touch that dial to navigate back to my channel and then find the new stream when it comes up. Because we'll be back in like 3 seconds, okay? But until next time, stay fresh, cheese bags. Also say bye, Azerad.
Bye.
Okay. I'll see you in like 5 minutes.